Good. Set the denominator, which in this case is x minus 5, equal to 0. And then you solve for x. So what does x equal? 5. And that is your vertical asymptote. There was a dotted line going through 5 on the graph. Okay? And domain is x cannot equal 5 because x can't equal anything on the vertical asymptote. Or otherwise, it would make the bottom 0 and you'd be dividing by 0. Okay? Horizontal asymptote. Look at your degrees. Okay, it's really 0. So which is greater? Denominator.
So y equals 0.
Right. Good. Okay, number 2, we have to set the denominator equal to 0. Divide by 2. X to the third equals 0. Anybody know how to solve that? I think you haven't learned this yet, but we would take the cubed root of both sides. Okay, which you really don't have to know to do this. And then x would equal 0. So x to any power that equals 0, x is just going to be 0. Okay. So your vertical asymptote is 0, x equals 0. Your domain, x cannot equal 0. Now the horizontal, are the degrees the same, different? They're the same, so y equals, right, or 1.5, either one. Okay, then number 3. We set the denominator equal to 0, and then we have to solve, don't we? Or, I'm not solve, I don't mean solve, factor. Go ahead. Factor this, 2x and x. We could try 2 and 2, we'd have
4.
Okay, how about 1 and 4? You have 1x and 8x would be 9x. So they're both plus. Then what do you do? Okay, so 2x plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. Subtract 1. So 2x equals negative 1. Divide by 2. And what does x equal?
Negative.
And x equals, what's the other one? Okay, so vertical asymptotes are negative 1/2, comma negative 4. X equals. Domain, x cannot equal half or negative 4. Okay, now we look at the horizontal asymptote. Yes, denominator is greater. The degree of the denominator is greater, so y equals 0. Notice you can only have one horizontal asymptote, but you could have several vertical asymptotes. Right, does anybody remember how to factor this one?
X times x minus 8.
Good. Factor an x out. You get x parentheses, x minus 8. Set each one equal to 0. So x equals 0 and x equals 8. Domain, x cannot equal 0 or 8. How about the horizontal?
Y equals 0.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let y'all continue, but I do want to skip over to number 13. The last part is they give you graphs, and they want you to find the asymptotes from the graph. We've done the vertical ones before. Vertical ones, they're right here, aren't they? Where's this vertical one on the right? 1. So x equals 1. And on the left, it does, but there's just so that it's so small, it's hard to. Okay. Horizontal asymptote, where is it? It is 0, even though, look at right here in the middle, it crosses the graph. That's okay. Horizontal asymptotes can cross a graph. Verticals cannot, because vertical means that's where you're dividing by 0. Okay. But it's okay if a horizontal crosses the graph. Okay, I want you to skip now over to 15. This is what, this has a slant.
So it would be none.
Right. None for the horizontal. It does have a vertical. Yep. Okay, then the last two problems are not, they don't have anything to do with this. They're review problems. They're like tax problems. Okay. 19 and 20.
Wait, on 17, it has like a big long space, so which one do we know to put?